All right, I am absolutely stunned. Just completely stunned. Shocker. Lakers at crypto.com arena, a chance to close out the game. It looked like this one was completely in the bag. You're up four with about 27 seconds left to go. Lakers can't hit a free throw towards the end of the game um, to save themselves in any possible way. And I am just stunned. And I think probably most Laker fans are right now. I got to be honest with everybody. I was sitting there and all my notes were basically ready. I was about to go live and I had my title ready on YouTube. I had everything ready on YouTube. And I'm just kind of saying to myself, all right, just, we'll see the end of this game and we'll just move on. We'll start talking about I had a lot of things to talk about that probably wasn't completely in favor of the Lakers. I thought there were some things that were a little concerning, but I was still going to give this team credit. 7 wins in a row. You move on. You beat the Orlando Magic. I know Paulo Banchero isn't playing, one of the best young players in the NBA, and you just thought it was all right. This is just a matter of time. Lakers are going to win this game, and let's all move on. What the hell just happened? I actually don't know what the hell just happened. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'm going to be able to give you my opinion. Lakers were 3 of 9 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. Um, Anthony Davis took 4 free throws there at the end, missed 3 of his final free throws. All you have to do is hit one of those final 2 free throws that you got. And then at the absolute worst case scenario, which don't get me wrong, would be a worst case scenario, you're going to go into overtime. He misses both free throws. Franz Wagner hits a 3, pulls up from, I know it was a 25-foot 3-point or something along those lines, but you let the Orlando Magic just hang around just enough to not be able to put this game away. And I'm going to give the Orlando Magic a lot of credit. I don't care that I'm doing a Lakers post-game show. They stayed in this game enough and played hard enough to where they gave themselves a shot to win it. Wagner hits that final shot over Cam Reddish, a really, really difficult one. And Lakers are going to have to take this one on the chin. I don't have an explanation of how it happened. These are one of those few games that you watch during the season that you're not going to forget about. Those are one of those few games that you watch and you're going to remember when we're in December, when you're in January. You're going to say, damn, remember that game that the Lakers had where they were absolutely dominating? Not dominating. I'm being obviously a little dramatic here, but they put themselves in a position to win the game in the fourth quarter late. And all they had to do was hit a couple of free throws and the game was over. I don't know what to tell you. Franz Wagner, 37 points, hit 4 threes, had 11 assists, had 4 steals. But the man that I think should be the leading candidate for the MVP this season, or if he's not number one, he's top 3, and I'm talking about Anthony Davis, choked. He did. You can't miss 3 or 4 free throws late and tell me that, the shot just didn't go in. You got to hit those free throws. And this game, and listen, I'm going to make sure that I say this the right way. The Lakers didn't lose this game because Anthony Davis was trash tonight. He wasn't. He had 39 points. He was supposed to have 42 points. You got to hit your free throws late. Or let's just say, hit one of those the 3 free throws that he missed. Went 3 or 4. Shoot 50% of those final 4 shots, and we're not having this problem. LeBron was the same way. He went 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Let's not forget Austin Reeves missed free throws a little bit earlier where he went 2 of 5 from the free throw. And guys, we're talking free throws. Why am I in a post-game show breaking down free throw shooting? Why am I talking about a 3 for 9 from the free throw line? That's not how it's supposed to be. We all know you can't do that. That can't happen. And if you do that, you're going to be left with one of these games where you lose. I'm not kidding. Let me walk you guys through this. Let me take you guys behind the scenes for a quick second. Look at this. They're showing here on Spectrum. Wagner, 37. Jalen Suggs, 23. Mo Wagner, former Laker. Obviously, they drafted him at a Michigan State, I think. No, Michigan. 19 points. Lakers didn't get stops. They didn't play defense, even though one of the best young players in the league wasn't playing in this game. And I want to give Orlando credit, and I'm going to do it, but Lakers don't really have an excuse tonight. This shouldn't be your first home loss of the season. But let me go back behind the scenes. I got this post-game show all prepared. I was working on the thumbnail, just waiting for the final score. I was working on YouTube. I got my title ready to go, just waiting for the final score. I had already put Lakers over Magic. How am I supposed to know that AD is going to miss 2 free throws? I had already put LeBron and Anthony Davis dominate. I had already put 7 straight wins for the Lakers. And I had to wipe that entire thing clear because in a span of about 27 seconds, Lakers went from up 4 to down 1, and they got no one else to blame but themselves. We'll go through this. We'll get a chance to hear from JJ Redick. The world's not going to end. Lakers 10-5 so far this year. It's not like this loss, it's not like some of these other losses that the Lakers have had in the past, but it's just how you lost. You're in a position to win this game. You should win this game. You let an Orlando Magic team. Orlando just played yesterday. I think I was mentioning this morning when I was doing my show this morning. I was talking about how the Magic literally had a game last night. This was going to be a second of a back-to-back. They played the Clippers. I think Clippers beat them. If it wasn't by double digits, it was around 9, 10, 11, whatever it was. And they still outworked you. They still out-hustled you. One of the problems that we've seen with the Lakers in some of those issues has been offensive rebounds. That was an issue tonight as well. I'll look at the final statistics of this. Let's look at JJ Redick. He's talking right now. This is the time that I want to hear from the coach. Let's hear what he's got to say. Take a quick listen.
Stuff. And then down the stretch.
I'd have to go rewatch every possession there in the last couple minutes. Overall, I felt comfortable with our execution up until the missed free throws and the Wagner 3. I would say don't quote me on that, but it's just a general thought right now. I'd have to go look at every possession. But
I don't know what he's going to do about the Wagner 3. That's a tough 3. That's over Cam Reddish from 25 out.
Reds. I thought not like we were conceding layups. We had the timeouts. We, didn't love the thought process and the mindset when Wagner hit the 3, because we talk all the time about just our ISOs. Like we don't want to allow 3s and ISOs. Obviously late game, especially. The small thing on the last play, we got 2 options on that play. We got to one of them. Small thing, could have been a little bit better just in a quick rewatch. But overall, I'll live with the execution outside of the missed free throws in the Wagner 3.
Okay, real quick, I'm going to unmute it here in just a second. For those that are putting a lot of comments about Austin Reeves, those are putting a lot of comments about D'Angelo Russell, those are putting a lot of comments about individual players. I'm going to get into all that, so don't worry about that. I'm going to get to it. And that last possession I'm going to get into as well, because I don't know what they were running.
Disrupt the sort of the flow of the game. They were having a hard time stopping us. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like it disrupted us for more than a couple possessions. I know we didn't score for a stretch there, but we got good shots. Those first couple possessions weren't great. It kind of took us aback a little bit, and then we were able to execute against it. But it was just that stretch there where we struggled to score, and frankly, we just weren't getting stops. Which, if you get stops, then you're playing against man in early offense.
All right, let's get one more in. Let's hear what one more question is, and we're going to get at this.
JJ, I asked you pregame about the physicality. How did you think that sort of played out? Particularly at a guy like Mo Wagner, it felt like at times throughout the game when you had chances to maybe extend a lead, like it seemed like he was able to exert his physicality at times.
Yeah, I thought our guys competed and were physical.
All right, we're going to stop right there. We'll let that interview's going to go long anyways, but we got a little bit of the meat that we were looking for. Okay, Lakers lose. Final score 119-118. I think anybody that's hopping in right now is starting to figure out, somebody maybe said to themselves, all right, I'm going to go take a quick shower here. The game's over. Someone's, AD's at the free throw line. Yeah, this is over. Let's move on. Couple things that JJ Redick said there at the end. Listen, there's nothing JJ can do if your best player can't hit a couple of free throws at the end of the game. That Austin Reeves is missing a couple free throws. That LeBron's missing. I don't know if LeBron missed 1 or 2. I think it was 1. AD misses 3 or 4. There's nothing JJ Redick can do in regards to that. So I think part of him is sitting there saying, all right, well, my guy's got to hit free throws. That final possession, the 2 final possessions, the Franz Wagner 3, I'm not sure what he wanted Cam Reddish to do. Maybe he's asking Cam Reddish. I will tell you this. I'll take Franz Wagner taking a 25-footer over Cam Reddish when they're down by 2, unless he's saying to himself, I don't want to give up a 3 because that's the only way we lose this game. That's the only portion that I could see him making an argument of. His argument can be, well, I wanted to bring Franz Wagner inside the 3-point line, so at least if he gets a 2, the worst that can happen is a tie game. So from that perspective, I probably understand what he's saying, but that wasn't an easy shot. The final play that the Lakers took, he said that they had 2 sets. They had 2 different plays that they can go to. I'm not sure if that's one of the plays. AD grabbing the ball from 22 feet out and trying to take a shot. No path to the basket, never an opportunity to kind of put some pressure on the referees. I heard Stu Lance and Billy Mack talking about this before that final play. What do you do if you're the Lakers? Do you try to put the pressure on the shoulders of the referees and try to take the ball to the basket? And the Lakers certainly didn't do that. Let's do this because I think we could start shifting now, and there's a lot of different things that we could talk about. Let me just look at a couple of these comments here. Thank you all for being here. I know there's a lot of people here right now. I know there's a lot of people here stunned that the Lakers lost to the Magic. If you guys don't mind taking 2 quick seconds and subscribing to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm, of course, going to be doing the post-game show every single game this year. You could be right here for the post-game show. And then Monday through Friday, I got you at 8 a.m. as well. I love every minute of it. Their top 3 players couldn't make a free throw at the end of the game. That's why they lost. Good. They deserve to lose. Yeah, listen, it's not like the Lakers didn't play good enough to win the game. It's not like the Lakers, I think defensively, there were moments where I didn't really understand what they were doing, some hustle plays that they could have done a little bit better on. Individual players have to be better for the Lakers. I'll get into those individual players for a second here. But if the game is very simple, if you give teams extra chances, extra possessions, if you miss free throws, you're playing with fire there, and the Lakers certainly did that. David, thank you for the super. I appreciate the super. AR, let's get to you real quick. Only 3 Lakers had double digits, 14 bench points, and 65% free throws. It's just a sad game. Okay, let's do this. AR, I'm going to leave your comment up there right there because that's going to get me to the rest of the players. Even though I'm upset that Anthony Davis couldn't hit some of those free throws at the end, he was 39, 9, and 3. Anthony Davis had 39 points. He had 9 rebounds. He had 3 block shots. He had a couple assists. AD still was the Anthony Davis that we're accustomed to. AD at one point was 9 of 9 from the free throw line and then missed 3 of his last 4, went 10 of 13, 14 to 22 from the field. If I didn't tell you that the Lakers won this game or lost this game, but if I told you AD was going to have 39 and 9 plus 3 blocks and go 10 of 13 from the free throw line, and you didn't know the result of the game, you would say, I'll take that. 14 to 22 from the field. I'll take that from Anthony Davis. The problem is, at the crucial moments of the game is what we're going to remember from this game is that Anthony Davis missed a couple free throws that he used to hit or that he should have hit. But I don't think the Lakers lost this game because of Anthony Davis. Let me explain. I know some people are going to say, Al, what the hell are you talking about? So let me explain what I'm referring to there. They didn't lose this game because of LeBron either. LeBron, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 12 of 22 from the field, hit 5 threes for the Lakers. If I told you Bron before the game started was going to drop 31, 10, and 7, 12 of 22, 5 of 9 from the three-point line, was 2 of 4 from the free throw line. But if I told you that's what he was going to do, you would say, okay, well, between LeBron and Anthony Davis, you got 70. What more do you need? You don't need that much more. All you need now is everybody else to contribute a little bit. Now is where we can kind of start talking about, and I'm not going to talk about Dalton Knecht because I have some compliments to his game, but I'm not really in the mood for compliments. I'd rather be a little bit more critical right now. Let me be critical, and I'll tell you where I'm going to be critical. Austin Reeves, that's a bad game. That's just That's just an awful, awful game from Austin Reeves. There were too many times, too, and there were some situations late in the game, and I thought the Lakers were going to win the game, so I thought it really wasn't going to matter, but I was still going to talk about it on the postgame show. I thought there were some times it's like, why does Austin Reeves have the ball? He's going isolation. He's got a big on him, and he's trying to, shoot a tough shot over the big. The guy doesn't have it tonight. Save that in a game where Austin Reeves has it going. He was 3 of 12 from the field. He was 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He was 2 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 9 points. I mean, any way you want to slice this, Austin Reeves was not having a good game tonight. I don't want to see the ball in his hands in critical situations. I want, and especially forced. It's not like a couple of these possessions was, hey, Austin Reeves was in a great spot. Austin Reeves was feeling it. Austin Reeves was letting it come to him. I think there's times that he forces it too much. Not a good night for Austin Reeves. It's tough for me to bitch and complain about LeBron and Anthony Davis. And towards the end of that game, some of the shots or the free throws that were being missed with both of those guys numbers were incredible tonight. And that's not just, hey, I'm padding the stats. No, it was a critical game. Bron in that fourth quarter, what do you have? I don't know how many threes that he had in a row, but he had a couple possessions in a row. He's taken deep threes, 7-minute mark, somewhere around there. I'm watching it on the highlights in the background here. And LeBron was hitting deep threes. 5-point game. LeBron gets to the basket, dunks. It's tough for me to bitch and complain about LeBron and Anthony Davis, except that we're going to remember those last couple of free throws, which is why obviously that portion is the frustrating part. Austin Reeves was awful. Let me keep going down the list of other players that virtually did nothing tonight. D'Lo. D'Angelo Russell's stat line tonight, 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from the three-point line, and that's just in 23 minutes. That dude found a way to shoot 10 shots and 7 threes in 23 minutes. He had 7 points. I like the 6 assists. Don't get me wrong on that. No turnovers, but you got weapons all around you. If that shot's not falling, maybe I try to find somebody else. Maybe I try to take the ball inside of the three-point line and try to get a couple buckets closer around the basket. Those two players definitely struggled. Gabe Vincent, honestly, I don't even want to go through his stat line because I don't feel like there's a reason to go through his stat line. It's kind of been what Gabe Vincent has been all year for the Lakers. But let's just put it this way. I won't go through his stat line, but I'm going to share one piece of information about Gabe Vincent's stat line. Him and I scored the same amount of points tonight. Him, me, you, everybody watching on the stream, we all had the same amount of points as Gabe Vincent. Seen here in the highlights, Lakers go up by 3, a minute 17 left. They're up 116-113, put themselves in a good spot. I'm going to see what the score is here because I know there was a stretch where they're up 4 with, I think, under 30 seconds left to go. But again, I go back to it. Those are the two guys that I'm going to point at first. I'm going to point at Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell really, really struggled today and didn't find many other ways other than D'Angelo Russell doing what he did with his assists, really didn't find ways to contribute for the Lakers. This is where Bron gets fouled. They're showing all this. Hits 1 of 2 from the free throw line. And then everything just collapsed from there with the other free throws missed. Wagner hits that 3. Damn, what the hell happened tonight? Here's another one here that I'm going to throw up. Thank you, everybody who's thrown a super chat up here. I greatly appreciate that. Why is the so-called best defender in the league not taking 6'10" Franz? He's cooking your team, my man. By all means, make sure doesn't beat you. That's a good point. No, you're right at that. There's going to be times where AD doesn't have to be the guy, guarding the weaker player so he can help more. Just go face up against the best player and see what you could do against the best player. I get your point there. I think that's actually a very fair point. It doesn't, that doesn't happen enough in the NBA. I would like to see it more. It doesn't happen. I'm watching the final shot that the Lakers. I don't know what that possession was. AD shot. Nobody takes any, not one dribble to the basket. It's a bad shot. And Lakers were nowhere near hitting that shot. All right, I'm going to hit on one positive thing here real quick, and then we'll keep going. I know there hasn't been that many positive stuff so far. Let me see a couple of these comments here. Max can at least play D and doesn't shoot, as opposed to D'Lo took shots from DK and gave up points. Yeah, there were some moments there. Well, they actually closed the game out. I mean, there was a point there where Max Christie was in towards those final couple of possessions, but D'Lo just didn't have it. And that's one of the more frustrating things to watch. And by the way, D'Lo also from a confidence perspective, I don't know how confident he looks out there as well, but we'll see what happens. That maybe that's highlighted more just because you have an L. Let me get to some more of your comments here, and then I want to talk Dalton Knecht real quick. What a choke job by AD getting cooked on Saturday by the Nuggets. Okay, why are we always already losing to the Nuggets? Can we just lose the Orlando game and then just wait a second for a couple of days? You already got us losing another one. That's why Lakers need a defensive center. We'll see if they go make a move for a defensive center. I don't agree with D'Lo. He had a lot of deflections and strips that don't show up in the stat sheets. Yeah, but in 23 minutes, you took 23 minutes. He found a way to fire 10 threes. 23 minutes, he found, or I'm sorry, 7 threes. He was 1 of 7 from the three-point line. That's a lot of firing away. That's all I can, that's the way I look at it. AR, you are not Dame, bro. Glad ESPN dropped this guy. No need for fillers. Dropped. The hell are you talking about? Ain't nobody got dropped. I leave on my own terms. All right, let's see what we got here. AR and D'Lo. All right, here we go. Let's keep going here. Okay, let me talk Dalton Knecht here real quick. Dalton Knecht. So, of all the things that I was watching tonight, that I was actually really looking forward to highlight, to be honest with you, the Dalton Knecht piece to me was probably most impressive, and I know a lot of people don't want to talk about something positive, but I got something positive. Dalton Knecht's coming off a night where he dropped 37, and I kept watching his game, and I was waiting for him to maybe force some shots. I was waiting for him. They were talking about it on the broadcast on Spectrum, and actually, I really like what they were saying, and let me put the pieces together. Gary Harris is a really good defender. They said that Dalton Knecht early in the first quarter, I don't know if he had taken a shot or maybe he had only took one shot, and they said, yeah, that's because Gary Harris is all over him. They read the scouting report. Instantly in my head, I'm like, perfect. You're using one of your best guards from a defending perspective to say we got to go guard Dalton Knecht, which should make the life of Austin Reeves a little bit better, should make the lives of some of these other players a little bit easier because Dalton Knecht is already going to get that much attention and he's just a rookie. But something Dalton Knecht was doing that I absolutely love, he wasn't forcing it. He's just playing within the offense. Yeah, if I got a shot, I'm going to take a shot. He shot 50% from the field tonight, 7 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7 from the three-point line. Had actually one of the best plus minuses of anybody out on the floor. Well, what's ironic, Gabe Vincent +6 was the highest plus minus. +5 for, maybe we should be giving Gabe Vincent more credit here. But what I loved about his game is now all of a sudden you're watching teams say, we got to scout for this dude. And as we scout for this dude, we're going to make sure that this guy doesn't get open. We're going to make sure that we got a body on him. We're going to make sure that he's accounted for. Perfect. That means all that attention is going to go to Dalton Knecht. There's more space for Anthony Davis. There's more space for LeBron James. Austin Reeves could try to get to the basket. Maybe Cam Reddish, you want to look at somebody like that, can kind of sneak away with a bucket because they got to put one of their best defenders on Dalton Knecht. There's a ripple effect that happens with that. So I loved all of it. But what I really liked about Dalton Knecht is he didn't come out tonight and say, guys, did you see me in these last 3-4 games, what I've been shooting? I'm going to fire away 15 shots. Took 14. He made 7 of them. To just give you an idea, D'Lo took 10. He hit 3. Both Anthony Davis and LeBron took 22. Austin Reeves took 12. Dalton Knecht kind of fit himself right into that space. Actually took the third most shots for the Lakers, which I think is a really, really good sign. It's very, very tough, by the way, to say something positive when your squad loses the way it did. I don't know if anybody wants to hear that, but Dalton Knecht, I really do. I had it kind of already planned how much that actually is going to have an effect for the Lakers, how critical it is, and how he doesn't also overreact with his game and say, oh my God, I got to get my shots. I got to get my shots. I got to get my shots off. I haven't taken enough shots. I'm open. Whatever it is. He hasn't done that. Our defense is awful. The main reason we lost. I'm going to look at something for the Lakers defensively. Look at the Lakers. They shot over 50% from the field. If you shoot over 50% from the field and you still take an L, yeah, that's not a good sign. But let me point out a couple things here. They shot 50% from the field, 42% from three. They lost the game. Orlando was 18 of 21 from the free throw line. Lakers were 17 of 26 from the free throw line. Here's another area that they lost. So they only shot 65% from the free throw line. That's how they lost. Another area, 48 to 36 in rebounds. Offensive rebounds, 15 to 9. So you can see the difference, obviously, right there, a significant difference there as far as offensive rebounds go. Whether they won the game or they lost the game, these are all things that are not good on the stat line, but they're highlighted more when you lose. Assists, 31 to 21. Total turnovers, very, very clean for the Lakers. Only 10 turnovers. So very, very nice on that perspective. Really all the other stats are not that important. But the stats to pay attention to, you do that well offensively, and you just didn't get enough defensive stops. You missed your free throws. I mentioned they shot 65% from the free throw line. And rebounding, if you struggle rebounding, what was one of Pat Riley's famous sayings, right? No rebounds, no rings. And the Lakers, that's an area where they struggle more than anything else. It's more those offensive rebounds, which kind of tells you that's more effort plays. All right, I'm trying to look here. I got it on Spectrum, and I'm taking a look here if they're going to go to LeBron or Anthony Davis, or if we're going to hear from anybody. And as soon as they do, we're going to play it. And as I'm saying that, they're going to Bron. Take a quick listen here to LeBron.
I mean, we had our chances, but they play well. We play well. I mean, obviously the biggest bucket of the night, obviously, from France. But, I mean, we put ourselves in a position to win the game. We just didn't come through for it.
JJ just said he liked the execution, except for the missed free throws and that three by Wagner. Pretty talented player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, but it's you tip your hat. I mean, Cam played great defense. He shot a step back three from, way beyond the 3-point line. You tip your hat on that.
I'm a little surprised that you aren't pointing to the free throws. What would you point to then if it wasn't the free throws?
Because it's a 48-minute game, you can't just point to the free throws. Those are obviously you want to try to close out the game. We had our chances, we missed them, and you move on. But if what we do in the third quarter, we got outscored 29-21. We came out, lost the lead. We had a 7-point lead at halftime, and they took the lead in the third. So there's a lot of game between the game. You can't just point to one thing. Obviously, you have your opportunity, at the free throw line. We didn't capitalize, but we move on from that.
They're a pretty big physical team. Do you feel like they kind of stagnated you guys a little bit offensively? Assist numbers were
down for you
guys?
Nah. I mean, we scored 118 points and shot 50% from the field. I don't think they didn't stagnate us. They're definitely very good defensively. But we got some really good looks.
JJ was just talking about how it can be hard for him to let games go, particularly losses. He's up for hours doing game film afterward. Is that something maintainable for an NBA season as a coach, or just sort of that intensity, or what do you think is going to happen as he goes?
I don't know. I'm not a coach, right? I don't know. I'm a player.
You've seen a few things.
I don't go. I ain't never went home with a coach before after a game in my life.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. So I have no idea.
All right, we'll stop it there. I don't know where that was going. He said something right there. I think the one thing that he didn't say, which he's not going to say because it's not his job to say it. What he didn't say was, we had some other players that, he said we shot 50% from the field. What more do you want? He's not wrong with that. He said, yep, we missed free throws. No question about it. We missed free throws at the end of that game. He gave credit to Franz Wagner and that bucket that he had in the top of the key over Cam Reddish. What he can't say is we need more from some of our other players. What he can't say is, he can definitely talk about the rebounds. He could say that we got to be better from a rebounding perspective, and we can't let a team like that hang around. Orlando's a good team. They're a really good team. That's an impressive team. And they did it last year where they were starting to make some noise and people were starting to notice them a little bit. Now they got another year under their belt. Banchero, whenever he comes back, he's obviously just a complete stud. They got a good team, but they don't play as if they're worried or they're scared or they're intimidated or any of that stuff. So you better in today's NBA with how many good teams that there are. Not that many in the Eastern Conference. I think there's 11 teams over 500 right now in the West, but in the East, it's only 4. And I want to say Orlando was one of them. That's a team that if you let hang around is they're going to stick it to you the way the way they did tonight. But what he can't say is, I need more from D'Lo. I need more from Austin Reeves. He obviously can't say that. And, he's probably sitting there. He's been in this league for so long, and he's going to say, look, shit happens. Sometimes you have a bad game. I think if the Lakers just lost this game and they lost it by 6, 7, or 8, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. It's just the mere fact of everybody here was getting ready to come tune into the post-game show, or you're going to watch it on Spectrum, or you were done watching sports. You were just like, all right, I'm done for the day. Lakers got a W. It's how they lost, and it's the fact that it was free throws that got them that L. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see more of the comments. No ball movement and not many assists. The real question. Yeah, you got to hit that free throw. I don't know what to tell you. You got to hit your free throws at the end. And Anthony Davis, I already know what's going to happen. Immediately, once Anthony Davis talks, what is he probably going to say? He's literally going to say, I got to hit those free throws. All right, we'll see. Hopefully Anthony Davis talks soon, because I would love to grab him and we could take a listen to it as this postgame show goes on. Just a quick reminder here and to give everybody an idea. So Lakers get the loss. I'm going to just take a quick look what that did to the Lakers in the standings. Looks like Rockets now in front of the Lake Show. So Houston is 11-5. OKC is 12-4. They get Hartenstein back, I heard. I thought I heard them say that in the broadcast. Warriors are 11-3. Look at Golden State on top of the entire Western Conference. They're 11-3. OKC, Houston, and then the Lakers at 10-5. Kind of a shocker of a loss here. Had a chance to make it a 7-game winning streak and then go up against Denver and, obviously put themselves in a good spot. Denver, Lakers got them coming up on Saturday. I am going to be at that game, so I'm looking forward to being there. And my plan is to do the post-game show directly from there. But one thing that I just want to point out here as we kind of start looking at the Lakers schedule, they got Denver coming up on Saturday, and looks like Denver's got a game. It's going to be a second of a back-to-back for Denver. They got Dallas tomorrow, and then they're going to fly to LA and have to take on the Lakers on Saturday, second of back-to-back. So they're going to host Dallas tomorrow and then fly to LA, and we'll see how much effect that has on them. And I got no idea. Jokic is questionable for Friday's games against the Mavs. Still, he's been out for a couple of games for personal reasons, so we'll see. Maybe Jokic is even playing on Saturday. I talked about it a little bit this morning where I'd really, really like to see the Lakers against Denver with a healthy Jokic, personally. I think, whether the Nuggets care about playing the Lakers or not, I think for Laker fans out there definitely is this, hey, can we beat the Nuggets? I've told you guys this before, and I've got so frustrated listening to it. And I know it's a common conversation, but hey, they lost to the Nuggets, but every game was close. Yeah, but they lost 4-1 last year. They lost to the Nuggets, but damn, how close were those? They got swept. I get it. Some of the games were close, but I don't really see the consolation prize in losing close games. Just because they're close doesn't mean you could hang with that team. It just means that team closes better. They're more clutch. Good teams find ways to win. Bad teams find ways to lose. I'd love to play Denver at this stage of how the Lakers have started the season, I'd love to play them with a healthy Nikola Jokic to kind of see. It's a good barometer for the Lakers. That's a good gauge for the Lakers. I thought we were going to be walking in that game having won 7 games in a row, and I think there is a little bit of a surprise and a shock, and everybody's still stunned that the Lakers lost this one. But they're going to have to figure out a way to just turn the page. Here's a good thing. It's not like the Lakers lost this game because they're a trash team. It's not like the Lakers lost this game. We have specific reasons why the Lakers lost. I can attribute to everything how the Lakers lost, and they're fixable. Hit your damn free throws. Don't shoot 65% from the free throw line. You win this game. Austin Reeves, he doesn't have too many games where he's 3 of 12 from the field and that ineffective. Got to be more effective. You got to find different ways to contribute. All right, AD's talking. Let's get to AD immediately here and see what he has to say about the loss and his missed free throws.
You're on the stretch. Come down, hit a 3, take the lead. So, my free throws are very important, very crucial. Missed them.
I know you're a guy who thinks a lot about your game. Is that something you'll be thinking about tonight, tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure.
You've been in that situation. You've missed them. You've made big ones. What's the flush process for you?
Saturday when we I come to the arena, get ready, play Denver.
You emphasize physicality pregame. It seemed like in the moments that matter most, you guys matched that. Does that make it even more frustrating when you execute the way you did, but free throws come back to haunt you?
I mean, any loss is frustrating. More frustrating for me. So, I'm the one who missed the free throws, so but any loss is frustrating.
What were the play options on the final inbounds with 2.5 seconds to go, and then kind of what do you think of your look that you got?
Bron screens for me. I come off, take switch, ECL. I forgot who was on the ball, but I don't think AR had a good look over the top to Bron. Second option is me. Try to get a shot up.
Thanks, AD.
My free throws.
All right, that's it. AD's done. Listen, I'll tell you this about Anthony Davis, and I think you guys would all agree with this. Anthony Davis is not concerned by any stretch of the imagination admitting he's wrong. He's not. Anthony Davis always is comfortable and okay with basically saying, hey, I didn't play good enough in the fourth quarter. Hey, that one's on me. I got to be more aggressive. Or in this case tonight, I got to hit my free throws. That's not a problem. Anthony Davis is always going to be honest. It's one of the things that I really enjoyed in covering him over the years was that guy is always going to tell the truth. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's not going to pretend it didn't happen, and he wears his emotion on his sleeve. Is he going to come out on Saturday, and will he be the same dominant Anthony Davis as he's been all season? Probably. That's what Anthony Davis has done. This morning I was doing the show, and I was talking about how the Ringer they kind of update. I don't know how often they update, but they're doing their player ranking. And they had Anthony Davis at number 8. The ranking came out yesterday, so this wasn't like preseason ranking or something like that. And this is the current players in the NBA. And I thought it was completely absurd. And I thought it was very disrespectful to Anthony Davis that this man wasn't top 3, top 4, something along those lines. I think top 3. That didn't make any sense to me. He choked tonight. And I think he'd be the first one to tell you he's got to hit those free throws. I still think Anthony Davis has been incredible all year long. I give this man a lot of credit. I think he's the main reason why the Lakers are sitting at 10-5. So, again, my frustration is, yes, you got to hit those free throws. But if you look at what Anthony Davis did tonight, if you looked at what LeBron James did tonight, there's other ways that the Lakers could have won this game. And it's not just on those two players primarily. Were there some moments where they could have been more clutch, they could have been better? Sure. But free throw shooting, rebounding, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell, there's 4 guys right there. Gabe Vincent. There's plenty of people to go around. Better just defensively, they didn't do a good enough job. Got pushed around. How many times did Mo Wagner just kind of have his way down low? There are plenty of areas that the Lakers lost. The highlight is going to be Anthony Davis, because of what we just talked about in the free throws, but there are plenty of other reasons. AD is not a trash player. AD is going to come back and do what he does. And what Anthony Davis has done all season long is why the Lakers are sitting where they're sitting, which is at 10-5. David, thank you for the super here. Don't agree with LeBron. He says one thing can't determine a game. Yes, you hit one free throw, game is over. It's called a free throw. You know, I think he's saying, I'll tell you, David, what I think he's saying. I think his point is this. I think his point is that, all right, well, if we had one bad defensive assignment in the second quarter and we gave up a layup, well, that's worth 2 points. Isn't that as important of a play as that final free throw? The problem is all we look at is what was the latest thing that happened. And because that was the latest thing that happened, well, that's the reason why the Lakers lost that game. Somebody put in here a technical foul earlier in the game. There are plays that happen all through the game. So I think that's what LeBron is referring to. What LeBron is saying is you could count those 3 of 9. Man, what a bad stat line. 3 of 9 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. That's awful. You're not going to win many games doing that. And you don't deserve to win many games doing something like that. Okay. I'm going to go back to what I was saying here real quick, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm back on tomorrow morning coming up at 8 a.m., by the way. So here's the one thing that I will say. Game coming up on Saturday. I really want to see Jokic play because I think Lakers now, when you get off to the start that they did, because they're 10-5, because they've done something that they haven't really done in a while, which is get off to a good start. Now I want to start seeing them against, okay, what's the team look like against a healthy Denver team? They got OKC coming up here pretty soon. What's their next 5? I know they got some decent games coming up here. They got Denver coming up on Saturday. Then you're at Phoenix. Without Kevin Durant, Phoenix is a completely different team. Again at San Antonio. Then you got OKC coming up. You got 2 Minnesota games coming up. So you're going to get some chances to see some good opponents in the Western Conference. And for me, the thing that I want to see more than anything else is how do they stack up against some of that other competition. So another thing to keep in mind there. All right, let's see what else we have here. It's funny. I see a lot of Laker fans tonight, a lot of frustration. I was less frustrated. I was more just like, what happened? I got to change my title. I don't even know if I changed everything in time. Sasha never missed a free throw. How clutch was Sasha? Game 7, 2 free throws. You got to hit both free throws. You hit both free throws. No problem. I remember one time I was playing in it was a league game. I was in a league back, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, something like that. And I told the guy, there was a guy that was on my team. We had a really good team. I told the guy on my team, like, I got the free throws. I got the 2. There was 2 free throws, like technical fouls. I got the free throws. I missed the free throw. I never got a chance to shoot another free throw. I was so confident walking up there. I'm like, I got it. I got it, bro. I don't care that you played in Europe. I got it. It's a free throw. You know who I am? Step to the free throw line. The back iron. It takes a different breed to hit those free throws. I got to hit those free throws. I missed the free throw. I don't know what you guys want me to tell you. I'm here to talk the truth. All right, let's see what else we have here. A couple more of these and we can get out of here. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., by the way, for those who just want a little bit of an idea of the show tomorrow, definitely continue to talk Lakers basketball. We'll react a little bit more to this game. I'll probably have some specific things that clips or press whatever it is that I'll incorporate into the show as well. Talk NFL football. Rams got a big game coming up. Chargers got a big game coming up. USC's playing UCLA over the weekend. And what was the other thing? Oh, Shohei winning MVP. Kind of recap his season a little bit. So we got a lot that we're going to get into. How many shots you putting up tonight before the lights are off? Brandon, that's a great question, brother. It's a great question. First thing I do right when the show's over, post-game's done, I take my shirt off and I jog to the closest hoop I could find outside. I don't care how cold it is, but I got to hit at least 100 shots before I call it a night. At least 100 shots. Okay, that should end it. Guys, sorry this is coming off a loss. I know this game was not exactly how everybody thought it was going to be. I would just say this. They had their chances to win the game. They're 10-5 on the season. They get an opportunity, obviously, to come back on Saturday and do some work. Hopefully, Nikola Jokic is going to be in that game. Tomorrow, we'll be back on at 8 a.m. in the morning. Thank you very much for being a part of the post-game show tonight. I hope you guys can please subscribe to the channel. Please like the videos. I'll keep putting up the content. Feeling great about this channel, if I could be honest with everybody. Just really encouraging to see how many people are involved, what the views are looking like right now. So thank you very much for being a part of the show, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll get back with you guys tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. or on Saturday night after the Lakers take on the Denver Nuggets. Thank you very much.